वो भी आ सकते थे।
ये है ना अभी तो 18 को वो आ जाएगी तो मस्जिद तो थोड़ी हमारी वो होगी
अभी उसको दो ना चाय ली। ये लड़का कौन ही कर रहा है? चार लड़के वही देख रहा हूँ मैं, कह रहा हूँ पक्की तेज मार रहा है। बेटा ब्लॉग में जूस लिया गया नीचे। हाँ अपनी तुम भी हो जियो
नहीं। हाँ याद आया
आप लोग भी थे।
नहीं तो फैजान की गलती है ना, नई ली फैजान की है।
नहीं भाई कौन है
Us, we've got David Ham, the head coach of Pakistan women's team with us. He will give an opening statement. After that, we will start taking questions. Please stick to one question at one time, and if your question has been asked already, please pass it on. David, just want to ask you about the camp for starters. If you can look in the camera, please, and tell us a bit about this whole exercise. 26 players are here. We've got 4 players who are currently taking part in a tournament in Dubai. What are the expectations and what exactly you plan to gain, of course, looking ahead to the Sri Lanka series?
Okay, well, first of all, thanks, Emmett. First of all, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to High Performance Centre in Karachi. Obviously, it's the start of our camp in preparation for the Sri Lanka series. We have 26 players here, as Emmett said, and 4 players away playing in the Fairbreak competition in Dubai. So again, the group that we have with us, we're looking at those players to take us into the Sri Lanka series. We're obviously looking forward to welcoming Sri Lanka here in a couple of weeks' time to play 3 T20s and 3 ODI games. And on reflection from the World Cup, obviously there's a couple of key areas that we're looking at in terms of how we'd like to play the game, and areas of the game that we need to evolve and get better at. There are obviously some positives, as there always are, but the key thing is we need to get better from where we currently sit. So that's obviously what we're working towards in this camp, and obviously leading forward, going ahead. So any questions, please fire away.
Any questions?
David, you have been with the team for almost, I guess, 2 years or so. Pakistan had not won the series for almost 3 years, I guess. Pakistan last won in ODI series back in 2018 or 19 against West Indies. So what's the basic issue with the Pakistan cricket team? We have talked earlier that they have the slogging problem back end in the innings. So what are you working on it or not, and what are the hurdles that you are facing in solving that particular issue?
Okay, yeah, a couple of things to answer there. Yeah, look, I've been here just under 15 months, 16 months, so not quite 2 years. But look, the points that we're working on is our consistency. So yes, in terms of winning series, we've got ourselves into positions to win series. We just haven't followed it through. So that goes down to consistency. So we say we get into good, strong positions, and then we're not able to follow it through. And that's again down to a couple of basic points. One is staying on task for longer, the focus and the concentration. The other thing is also our skill level. So we're trying to up our skill level from a technical point of view, but also make sure that our game awareness and game smartness is improved, because that's what's held us back from winning those close games, as you would have seen in the World Cup. So the 2 losses in the World Cup to South Africa and Bangladesh are 2 games that we got in really strong positions and we should have won. So from that point of view, that's been a bit of a pattern, which we're addressing as often as we can when we go into these camps. Again, behind the scenes, as you know, the trial's going ahead to develop a different type of group or another group of players. So we have a stronger domestic system, and I think once that's in place, you will see a shift in fortune, I believe, because there's now more competition for places, and that drives standards and expectations.
Muzammil and then Zubair bhai.
David, we have seen wicket-keeper batters not contributing in the team's process often. But we have a wicket-keeper batter, Sidra Nawaz, that she's playing at an average of 8 to 9. So did you find any wicket-keeper batter talent there during your stay with the team?
Yeah, good question. Yes, look, talk about Sidra in terms of being a keeper. She's a very good wicketkeeper. Yes, her numbers with the bat are under where she should be because she's a better player than what she's showing. So she's working hard on her batting to rectify that. Outside of that, the second part of the question in terms of who we're looking at, we have used Maniba Ali in the one-day series in the West Indies last year, which she kept in the last 2 games. So we are looking at alternatives in terms of who can fill that role. Not just in one-day cricket, but certainly T20 we've done that, and we'll look to carry on doing that. But one-day cricket, as I say, we still feel that Sidra is the best keeper at the moment. But as always, you're always looking to evolve your squad and develop your players. But she's working hard in the game, and we got to trust her and keep challenging her to get better and better.
Zubair?
Yeah, David, my question is regarding the upcoming series. How do you think the weather will impact on the series? And the thing is that Javeria and Maham are missing in the camp. So what do you say about this?
Yeah, look, we in terms of the weather, we can't control that. Obviously, it's a warm time of the year in Pakistan, but when you look at the scheduling, international scheduling, when you're trying to fit series in, it is quite congested and quite compact. When you think about World Cups, Commonwealth Games, the Asia Cup, Asia Games, the 100-ball competition, which and the Women's Big Bash, they take up 3 months of themselves, and within that, international teams are unavailable. So we have to sort of fit in where we can in terms of series. But the weather's the weather. I never known a game to be called off because of the heat. International game anyway, you have to get on and play. So there's nothing we can do about that. If it stays like this, it'll be great because there's a bit of a breeze. But so that's no excuse for us. It's just we have to get on with that. The second part of your question in terms of the squad, in terms of you mentioned Javeria and Maham. As I said, we've got 26 players here plus 4 missing. We just feel at this present stage at the moment, this core group of players is the players that we're looking at for this particular series. It doesn't mean that.
What about the Javeria?
Yeah, and Javeria, exactly the same. Doesn't mean that they won't play for Pakistan again, or we don't think they're both good players in their own right. Maham's made herself unavailable. Javeria's a bit different. In terms of us, in terms of our thoughts on those players and the players that aren't here, there are some good players that aren't here, but at the moment it's about we believe that this group of players are the ones that we're looking at for this present series.
David, are you satisfied for the Pakistan team's fitness, not for international standard, at leg group?
Yeah, look, our fitness numbers in terms of comparisons with other teams. I don't know the other teams, but obviously in my experience as a state coach in Australia, we have benchmarks that you use within that first-class system there. So we're looking at those to make sure that we are in line with that. We did testing yesterday, which again we focused heavily on fitness for the last year. We are getting better. We're more mobile in the field. We're looking fitter. We're looking stronger. But again, it's a continuous effort to make sure we're putting those things in place. Obviously, we're just coming off the back of Ramadan, so it's always difficult in terms of maintaining that. But again, it's no excuse. We have to be better than that with professional players. So we have to keep moving that forward. So again, that's an area that we're continuously to push because you need to be fit for purpose, and we need to get fitter and stronger.
Aram?
David, there's been a lot of talk about the talent pool for the Pakistan women's team being a bit limited. But now the 6 cricket associations, many of them are holding trials and camps. Have you been in any contact with the coaches over there?
No, not yet. I'll certainly. I have Waka Araxi's come to join us in the next couple of days, so he's holding one of the trials. So I'll be touching base with them once the trials are complete. There'll be feedback in terms of any new talent, players that are out there we feel are are good enough to be invited to camps. I think that's the first part. But I think it's great news that the PCB is now investing money into the associations, and in conjunction with the associations, trying to drive that part of the game and make our domestic cricket as strong as we possibly can. Because as you would have seen, most teams around the world, international teams, especially in the men's program, the ones that have performed well consistently are supported by a very strong domestic system. So it's important that we follow that.
Last question, Muzammil.
You talked about fitness. We have seen a lot of players training on their own in the off season. So, do you think is it important for the cricket board to look after the players in off season and just train them under the supervision of coaches so that they can just get back to the rhythm as quickly as possible?
Yeah, I think contact with the coaches is really important across the whole year. Yeah, there'll obviously be a natural downtime in terms of rest period. But outside of that, I mean, the players, when we're not on camps or on national duty, the players go back to their regions. We do have regional hubs, so they are getting supported from that point of view. But look, it's an ongoing challenge, if you like, that we have, because it's really important when players aren't on national duty or at camps that they're getting supported away from PCB organised sessions, because that's where they spend most of their time anyway. And it's important they keep evolving and growing their game when they're away from us.
Last question, Zubair.
Unfortunately, Asian Games postponed and Pakistan supposed to defend the title. So, but after the Sri Lankan series, you have very tough schedule like Three Nation series and then Commonwealth Games. So, what is have the idea about the preparation of these important events?
Yeah, we do have a busy schedule after Sri Lanka. Obviously, it moved to T20 focus, obviously with the Commonwealth Games. So, in order to support our opportunity in the Commonwealth Games, we're going to Ireland first, as you'd know, to play against Ireland and Australia. So again, that will be great preparation. Obviously, 4 games of cricket, in conditions that will be more likely to deal with in Birmingham by playing in Belfast, and again against 2 different types of opposition. One, the T20 World Cup holders and now the ODI World Cup holders, so that will be a challenge within itself. But also Ireland, who are now evolving and coming into the female game. They have some very good young players, so again, that's going to be a good challenge for us. So again, it's great that the PCB have supported us in terms of giving us the opportunity to go to Ireland before the Commonwealth Games. Post-Commonwealth Games, there will still be the Asia Cup when we get back at some stage. So we've still got the focus around T20 cricket, and there will be further series from November onwards.
Thank you, David.